Hi, I'm Jason Norris, and this is On The Go FM. And on this episode, I am talking about one of my rules for podcasting. These are the rules I try to follow, and I teach other podcasters as well. In most cases, these rules focus on the mindset you need to be a podcaster. So let's get started with the most important rule. Rule 1 in podcasting: your podcast, your choice. That is the mindset you need. It's your podcast. It's your choice. Because it's your podcast, you can choose any mic, any website, any media host, any style, anything, everything. It's a freedom mindset. You must embrace it. You can say what you want to say. You can say it in whatever way you want to say it. You can use a so-called radio voice, or just use your own voice, whatever that is. You can sing and dance in your podcast if you want. It's rule 1 in podcasting. It's your podcast. It's your choice. You can use music and, a laugh track if you really, really want to, or use nothing but your voice from start to finish. If this makes you uncomfortable, it's time to get uncomfortable. Seriously. Or maybe this would help. Consider this freedom a brainstorm. That's right. This freedom thinking about the podcast being your choice. It's a way that you could brainstorm. So, in other words, think about 10 different ways you could do a show right now. 10 different ways. And after that, think about 10 more ways you could make up your show. And once you've come up with 20 different possibilities, think of 20 more. Seriously. Don't get stuck in what you think a podcast is supposed to be or what it's supposed to sound like, because the point is, it's your podcast and it is your choice. Let's think about an alternative situation here. Let's say you work for someone. You know, you have to play by their rules, right? If you're a journalist for radio, television, or even print, you have guidelines you have to follow or you lose your job. Those are constraints you have to live with. If you're a teacher, you have to play by the rules set by other people. Again, that's fine. Those are constraints you have to live with if you want to keep your job. But when you make a podcast for yourself, it's your podcast. It's your choice. If you want to interview people, then interview people. If you want to pontificate solo, then pontificate solo. If you want to talk about how much you love Leave It to Beaver, well, go for it. Someone else in the world loves that old show too. But even if no one did, you can still talk about what you love to talk about. On the flip side of that, are there topics that you don't want to ever talk about? Well, just don't talk about them. If you want to spend time with friends and chat into a microphone and call it a show, you can do it. If you want to completely change everything about your show after 3 episodes or after 300, then change it. It's your podcast. It's your choice. On the technical side, you have the same freedom. Choose any mic. As long as we can hear you, you can use any mic. Or if you use an iPhone to record your show, you can go micless. Just use the built-in mic on the iPhone. If you want to host the audio files on your personal website, you can do it. If you want to go with a professional media host, you could do that too. Some of them even provide you with a website so people can visit and listen to other episodes of your podcast. If you want to just promote your podcast through Apple Podcasts and iTunes, you can do that. If you also want to reach listeners who use Android phones, well, yes, you can promote it that way too. Just go to subscribeonandroid.com and get it set up. And also make sure you're in Google Podcasts and promote that too. If you want to get better at writing, speaking, and delivering your message, then you can seek help from those who offer that. Or just listen to podcasters you like and take notes on their content and style. Or if you're satisfied with what you say and how you say it, then you're free to keep on keeping on. Freedom is fundamental. It's at the core of this idea of podcasting. It's your podcast. It's your choice. Embrace that mindset. Oh, and after you fully embrace this mindset, you really need to go and listen to Rule 2 in podcasting. The On the Go FM podcast is where I like to talk about what you can do with a podcast, exploring ways to make your message mobile. Teaching, training, telling stories, and changing lives, you can do it all with a podcast. And if you're ready to make your message mobile with a podcast, get in touch with me. I'm a podcast consultant, podcast editor, and I love talking about different ways to make your message mobile with a podcast. You can find me at jasonnorris.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of On the Go FM.